We've just sailed from the Ionian side of Greece through the Corinth Canal and into the Saronic Gulf. Our plan? No plan, and based on how things go in this episode, that might have been our mistake. We've already changed our minds about 100 times since leaving Preveza Marina, and this season we're on our own. No buddy boat, so we're just going to wing it and do whatever feels right in the moment, which historically has had mixed results. In this episode, we head south towards Poros and then on to Porto Cheli. And in the process, we make some truly questionable decisions about where and how to go. We've been to both before, so if you want a better, more put-together version of us, check out episodes 142, 143, and 144. We've always said we'd be transparent about our experiences, even when it makes us look a little dumb. So today, you're getting the full, unfiltered version of how we managed to turn a simple sail into a full-blown stress test. We're Claudine and Donovan. A few years ago, we quit our jobs, sold everything we owned, bought a catamaran in Turkey, and decided sailing full-time around the Mediterranean sounded like a completely reasonable life choice. Some people buy an RV. We bought a boat and crossed an ocean. Same idea, just significantly wetter and occasionally more terrifying. We've left our anchorage and we're sailing down to Korfos to meet back up with our friends aboard Sporades. We all crossed the Corinth together yesterday. They initially dropped anchor just south of the canal entrance, but ended up pulling up and heading to Korfos about an hour after we tucked into our little hideaway. Turns out their spot was way too crowded. Boats were packed in, there was no swinging room, and honestly that's exactly what we were trying to avoid. We chose that extra hour sail to our quiet little hole in the wall, and I am very glad we did. They, on the other hand, ended up sailing another 3 hours in the dark, which we're not huge fans of. Poros, that way. But we're going into a little bay over here. 2 days to get some good protection. Some ugly winds are coming, so we want to get some protection. Because they're not ugly winds, they're not terrible, but they turn in like 2 or 3 different directions. So you need to find an anchorage that gets you protected from 2 or 3 very different directions.
Με το δείχνω το Αγγελίες για την Αθηνία, παρακαλούμε ακούστε μας τα κανάλια 01, 02, 03, 04, 23,
So we just left here.
25, 27, 28, 60, 63, 82, 83, 85 και 86. Security, all ships, this Olympia Radio, Olympia Radio. Navigational warning, please listen on channels 01, 02, 03, 04,
Here's the Corinth.
23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 60, 63, 82, 83, 85, and 86.
Where are you going? Yeah, I was gonna say, you better get back here. You better get back here. Daddy's coming. Just sunbathing as we arrive to our anchorage in Korfos.
Hey, just chewing on that thing.
Rosie. Rosie, here. Good girl. Good girl jumping. She's like, I wasn't so sure about that step, but I got it, Mama. We arrive in Korfos and it's calm, pretty, and has that classic little Greek town vibe. Some restaurants, a cozy anchorage, definitely somewhere we could hang out for the day. But a big southerly is forecast to roll in, and this anchorage is wide open to the south. So staying here would be, what's the technical term? A bad idea. Our friends want to keep heading south to find a beachy anchorage, and since we apparently enjoy making things harder than necessary, we decide to follow them. Because clearly we learned nothing from yesterday. If you watched our last episode, you might remember I very confidently said, and I quote myself, "Lesson learned. Don't follow other boats if it doesn't feel right. Pick your own plan." So anyway, We stayed in Korfos for about an hour, pulled up anchor, and followed them south. And right on cue, the weather apps were wrong. Again. The wind and swell were directly on the nose, and we were getting bounced around like procreating rabbits, which is not graceful at all. Do we regret our decision? Yes, immediately, deeply, without hesitation. With 3 to 4 hours of sailing ahead, we had plenty of time to rethink all of our life choices and actually study the weather properly this time. We decided to stop trying to match anyone else's plan and just pick what works for us. We told our friends we'd catch up later. After a few years of living on board, one thing we've learned is everyone has a different tolerance for wind and swell. No one's right or wrong, just different. Even Donovan and I have slightly different limits, and let's just say I've learned which battles are worth fighting. We dropped anchor in about 2.5 meters and let out 32 meters of chain. Plenty for a big blow. It was a bit tight. Shoreline all around us and 2 monohulls sitting near the entrance of the bay, but it felt manageable. Just a quick sampling of what we need to put up with when we're trying to plan our anchorages and our sails. We are in Poros, Greece, and we are where the little white dot is right there. And right now it's 1 o'clock, 13 o'clock, and it says that we should have 24 knots of wind. And by 16 o'clock, it goes to 32, 33 knots right there. And it says, thunder, lightning, some rain sporadically right there. And then on predict wind, we're right there where the green dot is. It says right now, 1 o'clock, 22 knots. And as we move 2 o'clock, 27 knots, 3 o'clock, 31 knots, 4 o'clock, 25 knots, and then it lightens up. This is our current situation. It's not calculating wind right now. Fantastic. Well, I'll show you. Without stepping on the puppy. Hello. This is what it currently looks like outside. So if I had to venture a guess, we've got about less than 5 knots. It's filthy dirty. We got that Sahara dust from the southerlies that we're dealing with. Why isn't it? Oh, okay. Oh, 0 knots it says. Let's see. That's in the last 10 minutes. In the last 30 minutes, we had 2.6. 1 hour, we had 3.1. 4 hours, we had 5.2. So, knock on wood. Very thankful. But it's extremely difficult to plan where to anchor and when to sail. Coming here yesterday, we came from an anchorage right here. And when we got to this island here, oh my god, the swells were ridiculous. From here all the way to the corner here, it was just so uncomfortable. Although not nearly as uncomfortable as the day before when we did the Corinth. But anyway, not easy to plan anything. Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the storm rolled in. Southerly gusts over 30 knots, just as forecasted. We stayed at the helm, watching everything, making sure we weren't dragging toward shore, and also keeping a close eye on those 2 boats in front of us. Thankfully, it only lasted a few hours, and it was all in broad daylight, which definitely helped. We went inside, made dinner, sat on the couch, turned on some television, and relaxed, which in hindsight was our first mistake, because things were about to get unnecessarily exciting. A catamaran came in and stern-tied to the rocks just outside our swing radius. The weather was supposed to have passed, and everything looked fine, until it wasn't. Out of nowhere, in complete darkness, the wind picked back up and spun us around 180 degrees. We're sitting on the couch and suddenly we see flashlights behind us, way closer than they should have been. We ran outside and realized we were drifting, fast, right toward that catamaran that was tied to the rocks. I sprinted up to the helm and fired both engines up while Donovan ran forward to haul up the chain. All of our plastic enclosures were zipped shut, which kept us dry, but I couldn't see anything through them in the dark, especially because our chart plotter light bounced off the plastic, creating a glare. So I was basically driving blind, relying entirely on the chart plotter. Donovan got the anchor up, and meanwhile I'm circling the boat inside our anchor radius, just trying my best to stay in the green circle. I knew if we stayed inside it, we wouldn't hit anything. But driving like that in the dark was absolutely terrifying. We managed to reset the anchor almost exactly where we were before, maybe about a meter deeper, and finally we settled in for the night. Again. This is the new engine hours after we dragged last night and had to re-anchor. And now we're leaving this morning to go closer to Poros town. Poros is beautiful, super popular, always packed with boats, especially charter boats, and this was our second time here. And somehow, we still didn't stay long enough to really enjoy it. We crossed the bay into town, grabbed some diesel, then cruised along the waterfront, lined with boats, before heading to the east side of Poros. The forecast was calling for westerlies, so this anchorage made more sense, and it put us closer to town, so we could explore by dinghy. We actually stayed here a couple of years ago, episode 144 if you want to see that version of us. Tell you in a sec. Our next stop, Porto Cheli in the Argolic Gulf. We had a beautiful sail most of the day, everything finally going smoothly until it wasn't. Again, as we arrived close to the entrance of the anchorage, it was time to drop the mainsail. But first, we needed to center the boom, which meant adjusting the traveler line. Except it wouldn't move at all, so naturally we forced it. Hard, and the clutch broke. We did manage to get the boom centered enough to drop the sail and went ahead and anchored. But since this was our last stop before heading into the Aegean, we needed to fix it. We ordered a replacement from Nautilus and had it shipped to a nearby pickup box. It arrived cracked. So we sent it back and ordered another one, which meant we stayed in Porto Cheli for just over a week. Potty training is going really well. We got the last one in the litter. Let's see why she was the last. You're gonna fly away with those big ears. Thankfully, it's a great anchorage, well protected from pretty much everything, and has everything we need. So not the worst place to be stuck. It's open here, open here.
That's just from it. Yeah.
It's open here, so that's like the last one.
Yeah.
Except the other one was damaged and this one is not.
It doesn't appear to be damaged. I'm gonna
Let's
look.
open it fully just to make sure.
It appears to be okay.
The new clutch is in, everything's working, and we're finally ready to move on. Our next stop, the Aegean Sea. Rosie.
You don't like the wind?
There's two of them.
Yeah, maybe that's what's going on.
Let's get it on. We thought maybe the turtle was stuck in a net or something because it was just staying in the same spot, but then we saw the second turtle. So they're bow chicka bow wowing. Maybe. I don't know. How do they get past the shell? We're leaving at 6 a.m., which is very exciting for Donovan. I'm not a morning person at all, and it's going to be a long day. Make sure you come back for the next episode to see what happens as we head into the Aegean on Season 3 aboard our floating condo, Oka. If you enjoyed this episode, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss what's next. And if you've sailed the Saronic or the Argolic Gulfs, tell us about it in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories, especially if they make us feel slightly better about ours. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.